All right, Roots Disc Golf Course. This is in North Salt Lake. This is me playing the course. Hole 1 is a long hole. I had an awesome drive, split the flags, didn't hit any trees, sailed over the hill, and actually passed the basket, which is awesome. So I was able to still get the birdie to start the day off. Felt really good. I was very excited to start that way. Hole 2 is hard to the right, and it's a blind shot, so pretty much you have to flick it, which is what I did. I gave it a good flick. Actually, if my angle would have changed a little bit, I would have taken a more aggressive angle. I would have had a better look, but I didn't. So I approached up, nice and easy. Gave myself a look for a par. Wasn't any big deal. I was very excited to get bit by a mosquito right there. That was not fun. Moving over to par 3, it's another blind shot. You have to get out around the trees that you can't really see, and then it's down in this little dip area. So I've also noticed that I foot fault a lot when I play, which is something terrible that I've got to fix, but that's why I do these videos, so that I can fix those kind of issues. So today I didn't do a terribly good job, but I'm very aware now of my foot faulting, so I'll be able to hopefully work on that next time I play. But I was able to get a par there, kind of go on a par run for a little while. Hole 4 actually is the shortest hole on the course. It's a straight shot. It's a putter for sure. You don't want to throw anything else, and you want to just get out there. And I threw a little past and outside the basket, but had a comeback birdie putt and put it in. I was very excited because you never, I mean, you really want to birdie hole 4, and you certainly don't want to bogey par 4 or hole 4, which I've done before, but didn't today, thankfully. Moving on to hole 5. Hole 5 is a pretty long drive. There's a Mando, which I was totally clear of, but ended up further out than I wanted to be, so used my putter to do my awesome, little S shot to save a really easy par, and then move on to hole 6, which is another one of those good holes that are fun to throw.
And so here's hole 6. Another Mando, but then it's way to the right behind those trees. So this is one of the best throws I've ever had on this because I pulled it out. It went right.
I was very excited. Took a run here. Should have been more aggressive because I could have had another birdie, but kind of wobbled out of my hand, so easy par. Nothing to complain about. Hole 7, I would have liked to do something different, but I was still pretty happy with how I played hole 7. It's just a straight shot. It's 350 feet probably. You just get it out and let it hyzer kind of in. And this one I really thought I had a chance because I've hit these putts before, but I didn't today. I took my run and I was just short. So I had a really easy, lots of easy pars. If I could add an extra 20 feet to my drives on some of these drives, I would have had more birdies, but I didn't want to complain too much. So hole 8 is one where you have to throw it. There's a Mando, so you have to throw out, but then you need it to hook back left. And I actually gave this one too much power and ended up past the basket by quite a ways. So took a run back at the basket, not super aggressive, but again, just set up for a really easy tap in. So, kept saving par all over the place. Didn't bogey at all today, which was kind of nice. I guess that I should say spoiler alert. Hole 9 was one of my best shots of the day because you just need to throw it out and then have a hook back in, but there is a river to the left there, and it's a death river, so you don't want to go in it. And I was really excited because my drive landed, right at the pin. Didn't even have to think about my putt. Got a birdie. First birdie on that hole. Hole 10, I got my drive really decent. Foot faulted again, but you need a lot of distance on this one. So pull it out. There's like an outhouse there, and then you need to go hard to the right after your drive, and it's a par 4 because it's so far. And as you can see here, my camera crew let me down. They didn't film my second shot or my third shot, so I did get a birdie because I played this at a par 4. So now moving on to hole 11, there's a double mando, so you have to get in between those two trees and just straight, and then the basket's a little bit to the left. I just threw it straight. It never went to the left, so I had to throw my approach and step up for a really easy par. I mean, just a tap in. So I had a lot of those as I played, which is good. It's good to save par. It's like, man, I'd like to get more birdies. So hole 12 is another long one. I've played it at a 4, but it just seems silly. So there's a fence that you want to try to stay away from so you have a better look at your second shot, and I ran right into it. So this shot was actually really nice because I had to go straight and then out and then curve because it's still 20 feet deep, you know, around that fence. So I was able to get my putter and save par here. This one I was very worried I was going to get a bogey, and I was very sad, but thankfully the putting zen was happening and put that putt in and saved my par because I did not want to take a bogey. So I didn't, and I moved on to hole 13 is a similar hole, but you throw right kind of to the outside of another fence, and didn't really put as much distance on this one as I would have liked, so kind of had to drive it again, and then I was too lazy to grab my putter, so I threw that beast again. The beast was awesome for me today. It just was everything I needed in a disc for my drives, just very controlled. Everything was flowing, so I was very excited about that. Next, we have hole 14, which is a short, another short one. It's kind of just another straight shot, and for whatever reason, I threw this dynamic disc, this blue one, and I just pulled it really hard to the right, which you don't want to do, because then I ended up behind the tree, and I had to throw it back up and out, and it was a weird shot, but I executed it nicely and got another par save. But this hole, really, you should birdie if you play it right, but I didn't, so that was a bummer. Hole 15 is another one that you start going, you kind of have to change your game a little bit because to the right is that river again. So, you know, as long as you can hyzer a disc, you're good, but they put the baskets up, you know, along the bed of the river to give you heart attacks. So I played it safe. You know, I played it safe again. That one I thought was better, but I still had to putt uphill. And then there's only like 5 feet behind the pin, and then it's a straight drop down into the river. So you got to make sure you hit that or you lay up and take a bogey. And luckily my putting was good. I was confident in it, so I went ahead and did what I had to do. Hoping, you know, that I could pull out another birdie here in these last couple holes, try to get to neg 5. So I flicked this one again. Actually turned out pretty well. I should have put a little more on it because if I could have got past that tree right there, I would have had a look at a birdie, and instead I was in front of it. And then this is another approach that I kind of screwed up and sawed under because I ended up downhill having to putt back uphill, which I'm not a fan of, but I made it, so that was nice. Even with the wind, hole 17 is one that makes me super sad about because I totally did not record my drive, and it was another really good drive. So instead,
Yikes.
you'll get to see, you know, that, and then I just didn't film it for some reason. My film crew failed me again. They're the worst. But I threw the beast, got another really good drive, had another, you know, 10, 12 foot birdie putt, and despite the wind and all the distractions and the crowd, I nailed it. Just kidding, there was no crowd. So I got that last birdie before 18. 18, I've played at a par 4, but it really felt like I should play at a 3. So I threw my destroyer. Didn't really do what I wanted to because you can't really see it, but it hyzered and kind of went high. So I had to throw over that hill and basically just did like a mid drive uh, with my putter, totally blind, by the way. And then I was able to step up and hit another 8-foot par save and walk away with my -5 score. So it was a good day for disc golf. And hopefully, if you like this video, you can click like. If you hated it, you can click dislike. I also saw a snake, so that was cool. I tried not to startle it, but it disappeared in the cracks. So